Welcome to today's discussion on predictive programming. In this script, we will explore the intriguing concept of how media and entertainment subtly shape our perceptions and behaviors. Prepare to delve into the world of subliminal influence and discover the potential implications it has on society. Predictive programming is a theory that suggests mass media, such as movies, television shows, and even music, are deliberately designed to expose audiences to specific ideas, themes, or scenarios. These subtle influences are believed to shape our thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs, often without our conscious awareness.
"1993, World Trade Center bombing, remember? During the trial, one of the bombers claimed the CIA had advanced knowledge. The diplomat who issued the terrorist visa was CIA. It's not unthinkable they paved the way for the bombing, purely to justify a budget increase.
You're telling me that you're gonna fake some terrorist thing just to scare some money out of Congress?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hennessy, I've no idea how to fake killing 4,000 people. So we're just gonna have to do it for real. Oh, blame it on the Muslims.
Let's take a closer look at some famous examples of predictive programming. Remember the movie Minority Report, released in 2002? It depicted a future where crimes could be predicted and prevented before they even happened. Interestingly, today we see the development of predictive analytics in law enforcement.
Time frame?
13 minutes.
Hey, Chief. Investigator from the feds here.
Yeah, I don't need some twink from the Fed poking around right now.
John, I wrote it down on your calendar. I left you a message at your house.
Check in with the papers they had it forwarded, see if the neighbors knew where they went. Check all relations.
Checking neighbors and relations.
But John...
Fletch, just get him some coffee. Tell him some stories how I save your ass every day and you can't live without me.
I got coffee. Thank you. Danny Whitworth. Twink from the Fed. Whoops. Come.
Sorry, Danny, I'm gonna have to give you the full tour some other time.
The Marxists moved a couple of weeks ago. Nobody knows where, still searching for family and employer.
Time horizon 12 minutes.
All right, what he's doing now we call scrubbing the image, looking for clues as to where the murder's gonna happen.
Original running bond brick pattern, streamlined early Georgian details. The brick has been repointed.
And that this nation, under God, shall not perish from the earth.
Victims are pronounced here, killers here. Beyond...
My dream for each of you is that you find the happiness I feel today.
And my dream is to someday wear a real wetsuit instead of one that is just painted on.
Homer, look! The treasure of Pisa Mahado!
Hey guys, we found the treasure. When I get to shore, I'm bringing it right to the bar. Oh, which way did Mason go? That must be him over there. No! What do I do? Oh.
Homer, I need to ask you a favor. My babysitter canceled and I got tickets to a Christian rock concert.
I'm a nice guy.
is completely taken out of context. You little...
Richard! Oh, wow! Wow! Will Smith.
1992 episode Lisa the Greek, Homer exploits Lisa's ability to successfully forecast the outcomes of NFL game. In the episode, Washington beat Buffalo in Super Bowl 26, and a few days later, the same thing happened in real life. The following year, Fox aired a repeat of the episode days before Super Bowl 27 and got the prediction right again, and did the same thing the following year too. In the 1998 episode When You Dish Upon a Star, there's a small gag not many people noticed, which said that 20th Century Fox was now a division of Walt Disney Co. Almost 20 years later, Disney purchased 26th Century Fox for $52 billion, and the acquisition was completed 2 years later. The same year, in the episode The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, aspiring inventor Homer stands next to a chalkboard with many equations on it, one of which is what back then appeared to be an answer to Fermat's last theorem, but only because calculators were weaker. Another is an extremely close prediction of the mass of the Higgs boson or God particle.
Thank you for having me. Today I'm trying to convince you that pain is actually a perception and not a sensation. Here's a photograph of Andy Murray after the Washington Open in 2018. And the commentator thought that Andy Murray was overcome with the emotion of victory. But in fact, later on, Andy Murray went on to describe that this was the point at which he felt he was broken. He was broken by his pain. Andy Murray had developed persistent pain in his hip. No treatment seemed to be working. And this is what he said about it. It was consuming like all of my thoughts. I was worried about it all of the time. Unfortunately, Andy Murray's not alone. Some 40% of the UK population and 20% of the world population live with daily pain. This has led the World Health Assembly to declare that pain relief should be a basic human right. So let's try and discover what we mean. What is this thing called pain? So the old idea of pain, as my intention suggests, is that pain is a sensation. And this really dates back to the time of the French philosopher and neuroscientist René Descartes, who gave the idea that we have specific pathways for each specific stimuli we're able to feel as human beings. In this case, he was depicting what he called the pain pathway. But he also described similar pathways for touch and for vision. And what he really was getting at was that whenever we have one of these stimuli, it will always produce the same response. But I want you to consider this. This went viral on the internet a couple of years ago. This dress, we had people sat in the same room looking at the same image, not able to decide really what colours it was. I can never see the true colour, which is black and blue. Most people actually didn't see the real colour. They saw the white and gold. But if Descartes was correct, everyone looking at that image would have seen exactly the same colours. So I would suggest that the ideas of Descartes, which still dominate our understanding of pain and its management, should firmly be put in a non-recycling bin. So what is this thing called perception? And why is pain a perception? So let's delve into what perceptions really are. This is an image taken at the back of the Rose Theatre on a slightly different day to today. And if we were to try and walk our way through this, actually to achieve that task, we're facing a lot of what's called sensory noise. Now, we're not talking about sound per se. We're talking about a lot of unexpected activity with the people you see in the scene. And how we do that is based on our perceptions. And how we do that is to take our experiences of being in crowded situations before and try to predict what might happen. And also, we rely on social etiquette, how people are likely to behave in that sort of situation. And to do that, we need a nervous system that is not this. This is a couch potato. Descartes' ideas propose that your brain and your nervous system act rather like a cognitive couch potato, just waiting for information to flow into the system and then doing something about it. But what we now know and we have a model called predictive processing that tells us something about this, is the brain and the nervous system are continuously predicting what's likely to happen to us. And we only use the sensory information to either confirm that those predictions are correct or to negate them. Now, if the sensory stimuli confirm those predictions, nothing needs to happen. We've got a relatively good model that can explain away what's going on. However, if we have negation of the prediction, then we send sensory signals up towards the higher centers. This is vastly different to Descartes' model, where information is transferred from the periphery up to the brain without any filtering or alteration. And what this really depends on is a series of models throughout the nervous system. And they're not made of wood, as this diagram shows, but they're made of neural networks and neural connections. And some of you will have read about the term plasticity, neuroplasticity. And some of you, if you have, will think this takes place over weeks or months or years. But this is a dynamic that happens all the time. In fact, one of the pleasures of standing here right now is I'm changing the way in which your nervous system is wired.
While predictive programming remains a subject of debate, it reminds us of the need for critical thinking and media literacy. As consumers, we must be aware of the messages conveyed through our entertainment choices and analyze them with a discerning eye. Predictive programming continues to fascinate and intrigue us, raising questions about the power of media and its impact on society. As we navigate the vast landscape of media, let us approach it with curiosity, skepticism, and a desire to uncover the truths hidden within. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of predictive programming. Remember, the power to shape our own thoughts and beliefs ultimately rests within ourselves. Stay vigilant and never underestimate the influence of the stories we consume.